Hi, I'm Chris Direwalt, and this is Power Play. Hello, my fellow America lovers out there. I hope you are having a great election season so far. And we come to what could be probably reasonably described as a pit stop in the general election contest, which is we're coming up on the vice presidential debate, which could hardly be, and I don't want to be too hard on these two guys, but could hardly be in greater contrast to the top of the ticket, where you have sort of this Mothra v. Godzilla battle. You have two fairly sober-sided, policy-oriented, conventional candidates. What will happen when they get to Farmville, Farm Vegas as we know it, and does it matter? People who know the answer to that include Karyn Bruggeman. There's no R. She is an analyst for National Journal's Hotline. She is, you do the podcast. You do the 2016 podcast.
I am part of the podcast.
Podcasts are cool, I've found out since I started doing one. And she's smart, and she loves America. Also smart and pro-American is Aaron Blake, who writes for The Fix at The Washington Post. Welcome back, Aaron. How you doing?
Doing great, Chris. How are you?
Making it happen for the people. Okay, so I have once said that if Mike Pence is a mayonnaise sandwich, then Tim Kaine is a whole wheat mayonnaise sandwich. Expectations for something happening at this debate at Longwood College are low. Aaron, do you think that it could matter?
Boy, I have a hard time seeing how. I don't know. I think I haven't seen a poll ask people if they know who the running mates are, but I'm guessing at this point a lot of people might have forgotten each of their names. This has been one of the most low-profile vice presidential contrasts that we've seen. Donald Trump is such a figure in his own right that it's hard for Mike Pence to really be much of the picture of the ticket, even if he was more compelling. And then Tim Kaine was, kind of reputed as the safe pick from the very beginning, and he's certainly shown that he is that. So I think we've seen both these guys really fade into the background. I'd be surprised if they really made a whole lot of waves at the debate, besides in the traditional ways of attacking the other party's nominee.
Okay, and certainly, Karyn, the job of the running mate is to attack. But Donald Trump doesn't exactly need an attack dog, for he attacketh himself, right? He is always on the attack. And Hillary Clinton hasn't had many problems being on the attack in what is arguably the most negative, the most caustic general election that we've seen. In terms of demonstrating their own fitness for office or assuring voters that there will be adult supervision in the general election, they have a role to play in their own right.
Right. I think on that point, you'll see Tim Kaine probably attacking Mike Pence a little bit more, but you'll see Mike Pence trying to live up to expectations to try to maybe reassure some Republicans that he does have the policy expertise and he can come off as someone who is prepared to.
And Trump listens to him.
Office. Yeah, exactly. I think Pence will strike a pretty sharp contrast with Trump from Monday, because he was in Congress for a number of years and he's a governor. He has a lot more experience than Trump does. So I think he'll be
Which is to say any.
Exactly. He has more experience because he has some in government. Yes. But I think with Tim Kaine, you will see him. He's been previewing this over the past couple of weeks. He's been going after Mike Pence for things like gay marriage. For Mike Pence as governor, wanted to bar Syrian refugees. He's been setting up some attack lines. So I think you will see Kaine trying to point out how Pence is more socially conservative and kind of a more traditional Republican than Trump.
Aaron, how much does the chasm between Pence and Trump on policy and the smaller but still present gorge between Kaine and Clinton matter on policy? We've seen in vice presidential debates in the past that sometimes those things come up. You say this, but your running mate says that.
Right. So I think, this has been kind of a feature of the Trump-Pence campaign for a while now. We here at the Washington Post have been keeping track of the many ways in which Pence's record and his policies have diverged from Trump. So I think he's pretty studied as far as answering that question. He says, we may not always agree on everything, but we're running on the same ticket. I think there will be a little bit of that. I think maybe a little bit less of a contrast between Clinton and Tim Kaine. But, there are certain things in Tim Kaine's past, him being more pro-gun when he was running for governor and lieutenant governor of Virginia back when it was a red state. There were some more moderate things in his past that I'm sure will come up during the debate. I think what we're going to see here is maybe a good amount of parsing of actual policy issues in a way that we didn't necessarily see at the first debate.
Okay, and now the last thing, Karyn, when we talk about how Pence and Kaine function as surrogates, we don't talk a lot about how they function as actual advisors to the campaign. We saw Joe Biden make a case when he was chomping up Paul Ryan 4 years ago that basically, I'm part of this government. I'm here. I'm the guy. You're nobody. You're a kid. You're some kid from Wauwatosa, and I don't care. And nobody cares about you. Both of these guys, as you pointed out, are credible humans. They have both. Tim Kaine served as mayor, as governor, as senator, and Pence in prestigious positions in the House, and now as governor. When they fight, do you think that the niceness maybe fades a little bit, and they both sort of pull the shoulders back and say, "I'm the man"?
You know, they both come off as nice, affable guys, and particularly with Mike Pence, he actually doesn't have much of a tradition of being really negative when he's running races. He didn't run any negative ads when he ran for governor in 2012 and hadn't done so for his House campaign. So I don't know that he is actually as accustomed to being an attack dog. I think that might be a much more natural role for Tim Kaine, but he does it with this nice guy persona.
Because he looks like an otter. He looks like an amiable...
He does look a little bit like an otter.
Lutrine is the adjective for having the characteristics of an otter, and he seems friendly in that way.
Right. I wouldn't expect any extremely sharp barbs. This isn't going to be like Monday. I think it is going to be pretty vanilla.
But if they put out a water slide or any toys, he might get distracted and go over there. You never know.
I think the moderator, they could get creative.
They could get creative. Thank you for getting creative with us. You too, Aaron. And we hope that you, Internet, will come back for more excellence on Power Play real soon.